Welcome, everyone. My name is Amol Nirgudkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism, and I am delighted to welcome one of my good friends, somebody I've looked up to for a very long time in this industry, Dee Fischer, to this amazing studio that we have set up at the inaugural Women in DSO event. Dee, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mal. Thanks for having me.
I have observed you from afar, I've observed you from close by, and you are the true magician in this industry. You have this unique ability to find needles in haystacks, which is, I don't know even anybody else exists today that does that. You can go into an office and literally figure out what's wrong by one conversation. Tell me, why do you have this superpower? How do you have this superpower to figure out what exactly is wrong and fix it? I've always wanted to ask you this question.
Mal, I think it goes to listening. I think good leaders listen. And if you really listen to the team from
Yeah.
the janitor up,
Yeah.
you learn so much. And if you take that moment and just humble yourself and say, okay, I'm not here as the superpower, I'm here as someone that's really going to help and lead them. And you really listen to that team, they tell you. They tell you without even asking because everybody wants to grow. Nobody goes to a situation where they don't want to grow. Why do you take a position in an office?
It's interesting. I've seen you do this with DSOs very successfully, where you go in and you by talking to people, you identify problems that they have never identified. Because people are so stuck, right, in thinking that that's the problem. But it never is that the problem, right? It's totally different,
No.
right? With Fisher Professional Group, now you consult with hundreds and hundreds of offices around the country. You travel a lot. How do you do this? How are you able to manage so much and clients across 30, 40 states you have? How are you able to manage this on your own?
So for me, it's the passion that manages it. And I tell you this, and all my teams know each other. So if there's a crisis, it's okay for me to go to that crisis. Nobody ever gets upset because they know I'm going to help them if that happens. So that's a lot in the time grid that we look at. And when we bring a client on, we tell them, we might have a day blocked for you, but your buddy office down the road might be having something that's really important. And as long as you have an open mind and a growth mindset, we're okay with having that client. So really my clients make me manage it and they help me. And to me, that's so important. Why not look out of the box? Why not make it about you, make it about them? And I think it really falls into place.
One of the things that you're very successful at doing is actually change management. It's the hardest thing to do in any business. How do you get these people all excited and riled up around executing the ideas that you bring to the table?
Amal, it's really simple.
Yeah.
Listen to their hearts. If you listen to people first and
Yeah.
you listen to their hearts,
Yeah.
they will engage. Instead of going and telling them, this is what you have to do.
Right.
So for instance, you sit with a young doctor that just got out of school. They're
Right.
nervous. They don't know how to do case conversion. Just listen to their heart. They want to be there. They want to do this. Right? And if you could say, okay, let me find that little crack where that little confidence is not really what it needs to be, talk to their heart. And if you're talking to their heart, you're going to get engagement. And if you get engagement, you get success.
All the clients that we've implemented Patient Prism at, where they're your clients, it's worked out really well because you've helped them really operationalize it in a way that nobody else has helped them with before.
They just, Amal, if they can see the magic in what they're doing, and, my believer is you set goals, but you really set growth strategy. You have to have that growth mindset because without that, the goals don't really come.
Right.
And so I think going in and showing them the growth strategy and making them very much part of it. Did you ever ask somebody this and say, don't ask them where they want to be. Ask them, how did they want to make the difference to be where they want to be?
It's
Very
powerful.
powerful, right? And they're like, I don't want to just be a dental assistant. I would love to go to hygiene school, but I don't have the finances. Well, you know what? Sit down with that person and help them find the finances, and they'll be a better part of that team.
Absolutely.
It's that different way of looking, I think.
It's really growing your people, right? At the end of the day, if you grow your people, everything will fall in place.
Right. And Amal, the one thing that I always loved about you is I'll never forget the first day I met you. You had this shirt and it said people first. And I was
People
like,
before profits, yeah, that's right.
I was like, I have to meet him. I have to meet him. And I remember, we were at a conference and I'm like, I want you in my room.
That's
I
right.
want you in my room because I knew that we were coming from the same type of pattern. And I think it's because of the integrity and honesty that we've grown up with. It's so important.
What is it that you've learned from your life experiences, and with large DSOs that you've helped build, what what is it that you've learned that really allows you to connect with doctors, with clinicians, with hygienists, assistants? What is that thing that you've learned that your childhood brought to you that allows you to just instantly connect?
So, my dad taught me one thing:
Yeah.
always stay humble. Leave the ego out of everything you do in life and be a servant leader. So I really learned what it was to be humble. And walk into a room and see these young doctors, see these young teams, and yeah, I've been there, I've done it, and
Mm.
don't ever forget where you came from. And I think that's the thing that really resonates with me because Amal, I was at a time in my life, my dad had lost his job, we had 5 kids, we've been through some really hard times, but then we went through some really great times. But dad always told me, everybody can get where they want to be, but remember, you're only allowed to have a styrofoam cup. And
Mm.
what does that mean? It means no matter where you go, they could pick up your suitcase. It's kind of the old thing.
Yeah.
And you could go to great dinners and everything, but you don't deserve that. You have to earn that with respect and stay humble and pass it on to others, and become that ripple. So I think that for me, the humbleness is so key.
It is a testament to why you've been successful, because you don't go into organizations telling them what to do, but you bring out the best in people, whether they're assistant or they're hygienist, they're treatment plan coordinator, they're a doctor. You bring out the best in them by giving them the motivation to be their best self, and that is why every office you go into has this crazy double-digit growth, which is unheard of, right? And unheard of consistently doing that over and over and over again. And I'm delighted to be I'm delighted to call you my friend. I'm delighted for the opportunities that you've given me over the years to serve the clients that you serve. And I'm honored to just know you as a person, as a human being, and as somebody that I will always look up to. So thank you, Dee Fischer.
Well, thank you, Mal. Thanks for having me. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.